In the dusty corners of Benin City, 1999, a young man named Emeka sat in his one-room apartment, broke, tired of trying. Life hadn't exactly been kind to him, and frankly, he had nothing to offer anyone. Until one day she walked into his room with trembling hands and a shaking voice. "Emeka, I get Belle." He stared at her, eyes wide with shock, fear, and confusion. She was carrying his child, but he was already carrying the weight of his whole world. Instead of stepping up, Emeka stepped away, far away. No goodbye, just vanished, Mary cried. But crying didn't feed a baby. She left Benin in silence, moved to a quiet town near Asaba, and faced life head-on. Alone, Mary cried. But crying didn't feed a baby. She left Benin in silence, moved to a quiet town near Asaba, and faced life head-on, alone. She scrubbed floors by day, sold vegetables at dusk, cried at night. But when labor came early and hard, she fought like the lioness she was, and gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. She named her Ada Mary Johnson. Despite the odds, Mary raised Ada with fierce love and quiet strength. She taught her dignity, discipline, and dreams. And Ada grew. Oh, she grew into fire. First in her class. First in debates. First in compassion. Mary was proud. But fate had one more storm waiting. Mary started falling ill. First a cough, then weight loss. Then came the diagnosis, late-stage cancer. She hid it until she couldn't anymore. Lying weak on a hospital bed, she looked at her daughter and whispered the truth. "Your papa named Emeka. He run when I carry Belle. If you ever see him, ask him why." Then Mary closed her eyes and left. 26 years later, Emeka is a completely different man. Now 50, he lives in Lekki, Lagos, wealthy, respected, driving a black Range Rover and living in a mansion. But deep down, he's alone, divorced, no children. One evening, his old friend Kunle visits. "Guy," Kunle said, "money no be everything, oh. Who go inherit all these your things? You no get wife? You no get pekin?" Emeka shrugged. "I try before. I no work, but maybe, just maybe, I fit try again." Years passed. Ada grew into a remarkable woman, a youth leader, a speaker, and eventually the host of major empowerment programs. She carried her mother's fire in her soul and wore her name with pride. One day, at a summit in Victoria Island, she invited a respected businessman as the keynote speaker, Chief Emeka Okafor, a man she had never met, but who had gained fame for his philanthropy. When Emeka walked in, he had no idea that his past would catch up with him that day. He was now 50, successful, well-dressed, but lonely. He had made money, built companies, married and divorced, but had no children. Something about Ada struck him that day. Her fire, her presence, her words. They began to talk more. Meetings turned into friendship, and friendship began to feel like something deeper. Emeka felt something he hadn't in decades, a desire to build again. 8 months into their growing relationship, Emeka proposed to Ada. She was hesitant. Something inside her still ached for closure, for identity. "You make me want to live again," he said softly. "Be my wife, Ada." Tears rolled down her face. "Yes, yes." The wedding day arrived. Guests filled the beautiful hall in Lekki. Smiles, cameras, music. But just before the vows, an elderly woman, Auntie Ngozi, Emeka's old friend from Benin, walked in. She watched Ada closely, then pulled Emeka aside. "You say her name na wetin?" she asked quietly. "Ada Mary Johnson," Emeka replied. Auntie Ngozi froze. "Jesus, Mary Johnson. From Benin? The girl you left pregnant?" Emeka blinked. "Wait, what?" "Emeka, that girl is your daughter." He staggered backward. "It can't be. I would have known." But before he could stop her, Auntie Ngozi stormed to the microphone. "Stop this wedding!" she shouted. "This girl is his daughter." The entire hall fell silent. Gasps, murmurs. The priest looked lost. Ada stood there, frozen. "What are you people talking about?" she asked. Auntie Ngozi stepped forward. "Your mama, Mary Johnson, was pregnant when Emeka left Benin. You were born 9 months later. You're his blood." Ada's voice cracked. "No, no, no, no." Emeka was in tears. "Ada, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know." But Ada couldn't hear anymore. She dropped her bouquet and ran out of the hall. The wedding? Scattered. Months later, father and daughter met again. This time, beneath no spotlight, no crowd, just truth and grace. "I forgive you." Because my mother taught me love even in pain. And in that moment, Emeka wept, not just for what he lost, but for what he was finally given. A second chance, a daughter, and redemption. Sometimes, life doesn't come full circle until it's been broken, torn and pieced back together, with love